It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up today with a migraine. So I'm going to try taking a Cefaly treatment. Cefaly. These things don't rip open, unfortunately. So you cut it open, and you have here an electrode. It sounds scarier than it is. And you peel it off. This is reusable. And it's important to find the right place. And one thing I forgot, you need to wash the area and dry it with soap and water. It's very important to do this. You will not get the right treatment if you don't dry it. This kind of stuff is just part of my life. All right, so I'm placing it. I want to make sure that the tip of this comes up to right about here. It's the top, the very top line, or very top part of your eyebrows. If you put it down here, or if you put it up here, it's not going to work. It may even hurt you. So I'm looking for the top of the line, and there it is. Putting this on. But this is what you're looking for, is this device. I mean, there's like a magnetic attraction. Okay, and then I press it. I'm going to go for the full hour. You hear a little buzzer or a little beep, and I'm beginning to feel, or a balloon on your head, that kind of sensation. I like to lay down with it. I'm beginning to feel more of the sensations going through this area, and I don't have much migraine pain while this is happening. As it goes through the cycle, I will feel less migraine pain. And it did work. I feel much better. Tired. A lot of money, but it's better than taking medication all the time. And I will talk more about that when I am dressed and ready for the day.
That's Cooper. Hello, Cooper. And Cooper is going to help me with my migraine kit, or what I do to control migraines. And we're going to start with a monthly shot of Ajovy. There it is. You know, the needle cap looks bigger than the needle is. It's a very short needle, but nonetheless, it's a needle, and you got to work yourself up to it. So that's once a month. The next thing I do, if that doesn't work, is I take a Furanol generic, which is called butyl bitol, aspirin based, and it works most of the time. My name, Ubrevely. Very, very expensive currently. I don't know if it will stay that way, but I'm not even going to say it's more than $500. Okay, so then we go into mild headache. Okay, let's say that one of these things worked, but it didn't completely take it away. And let me just say that this medication would be for the worst case migraine, because this medication does break up a migraine. Maybe not entirely, but fairly well. The next worst case scenario would be me taking prednisone. I would take prednisone only if I have a migraine that goes on for days and days and days. So let's say I have a lighter to moderate migraine, and that would be level 4, 3 or 4. 3, I would just take a bufferin, and just 1. If it was 1 or 2, like just a suggestion of a headache, I won't take anything. I've learned the hard way, don't do that. So this is Anacin, and Anacin does have a small amount of caffeine in it, and it's aspirin. I don't take Tylenol because Tylenol does not work for me. Sometimes I will take an Anacin and an ibuprofen. This is more of a, well, I think it's 600 milligrams. I have the prednisone, and then I have miclazine in case I get very nauseous. That can happen with a migraine. You can get extremely nauseous, and it's good to have something like this on hand. Now, this is my collection of what it takes to keep me not disabled with migraines. There are people that are disabled with migraines who nothing works for, or if it is something, it is through IV, and it's something that needs to be administered at a center. I want to say that I don't get migraines every day anymore. This is Brandy Arnault of Brandy Arnault Fine Art, and today we're going to talk about medication overuse headache. I did have medication overuse headache, and there is such a thing as medication overuse headache. I had trouble believing that when I first was told about it, because migraine is also a progressive disease. So doesn't always, but it most likely will get worse with the passage of time. In my case, I started to get migraines back in 1976. That's a long time ago, but that's when they started, and they were manageable, very manageable. Then I went 10 years without getting a single migraine. But then when they came back a little more regular, and as time went on, more intense pain was felt, and they lasted longer, like for several days. Now, I did have a medication that really worked, and that medication's name is Furanol. That was prescribed for me in 1976. It's a barbiturate, so it's not an opiate. I want to get that clear right now. It's a barbiturate, but it was the gold standard to treat migraine back in 1976. So it only made sense for me to continue with that medication. There was a chunk of time where I was not taking Furanol, extra strength Excedrin, thinking that was better than taking the barbiturate Furanol. So I went to that. Then I had some really severe stomach problems and had to go back to Furanol. Over the years, I required more and more Furanol, and the headaches were coming closer and closer together. In 2015, I became daily migraine. By the time 2017 came along, I was being awakened most mornings between 3:30 in the morning and 5 or so in the morning with a very strong migraine. In 2019, my neurologist said he's no longer prescribing Furanol. And that upset me because I knew I wasn't addicted. It wasn't that I needed to have that because I wanted to get happy or high. I just wanted to be out of pain. So I ended up going to a headache specialist September of 2019. And it was the best thing I did for myself. The headache specialist told me that I do have medication overuse headache,
Now, my neurologist tried to tell me the same thing, and I got mad at him. But this headache specialist, when she said the same thing, I decided, okay, I'm going to prove these guys wrong. I'm going to do what she tells me to do, and they're going to find out that it's not medication overuse headache. That was what was playing through my head when I told her, yes, I will do a 6-week detox from home, which I did. And it started out with 2 weeks on prednisone. And I found out that prednisone is really a fantastic medication. I felt like I was 45 and I'm 66. Felt like I was 45 again. I got a lot done, and I decided to go ahead and get a lot done because I knew that days were going to be down the road that were not going to be comfortable. She told me that I need to get used to a low-grade headache and not react by taking something like Anacin. And she said for the next, 6 weeks or so. So I had to do that. She also prescribed a Cefaly. I'm going to put the device up here in the spelling. I've got it wrong, but that's what she prescribed for me to do when I started to get migraine. Then she also allowed me 10 Furanol a month. So I didn't need any at the time, and but she told me that she would prescribe 10 Furanol a month, and that would be it. I was taking about 45 Furanol a month. So that's a big difference. But I will tell you, that's what works for me now. I did go through the detox, the 6-week detox. It's not a withdrawal to speak of. I had no symptoms of jitteries or anything like that. It was telling my brain you're not going to get a painkiller. And it worked. And I'm putting this out there for anyone who finds themselves in the midst of a lot of headaches, headaches that are waking you up in the morning. I think that's the number one sign of medication overuse headache, is that your migraines are waking you up in the morning early, like 3:30 in the morning, and you're becoming sleep deprived. That was me. See a headache specialist. Even if you have to wait 4 months to see one, even if you have to drive a couple of hours to see one, go see a headache specialist. Migraine is not just a headache. You can be nauseous. You can be suffering with vertigo. We're usually light sensitive. You can be hearing sensitive. You will hear all the time of migraine sufferers going into a dark room